I want to share with you 5 ways that you can create a wellness routine that truly honors you. One that really helps you to center who you are as a person, especially in this time, in this season of the world where there's a lot going on, a lot of chaos. But I think one of the most valuable and one of the best investments that you can make as a Black woman is making sure that you take care of yourself. Let's go ahead and get into it. Number 1, starting a fresh routine. Number 1, define your wellness goals. So before diving into routines, ask yourself, what does wellness mean to me right now? Maybe it's about improving your mental health, moving your body in joyful ways, or prioritizing better sleep. Whatever it is, be specific and realistic. For example, instead of saying, I want to be healthier, try to set some very specific goals. Something that's measurable, something that you can actually see whether or not you're being successful. Or what would wellness feel like to me? How do I want to feel if I'm well? What does that feel like? And so maybe it's about improving your mental health or really just having a sense of peace in your day-to-day life. I think that's an excellent goal to have, is to have a sense of peace in your day-to-day life. Whatever it is, I would say be sure to be specific and be realistic. For example, instead of just saying I want to be healthier, try to be more specific, such as I want to walk for 15 minutes 3 times a week, or something like I want to cook my meals at home 90% of the time, or I only want to eat out once a week at most. So those are more specific types of wellness goals. They're very specific, they're measurable, and they'll give you an opportunity to kind of look back and reflect and determine whether you are meeting that goal and determine whether you are being successful, or determining if you need to shift and move things around. Because, this is life, and sometimes we need to shift. Sometimes we need to allow ourselves some grace to alter things, because one thing about life is going to change, right? So what may seem like it can work now, you just may sometimes have to have the flexibility to move that. Number 2, choose practices that resonate with you. So I personally believe that wellness is a very personal thing. What works for one person may or may not work for you, to be honest. And that's something that I've seen across my career, as professionally and seeing patients, but also in consulting and coaching women as well. Everybody's life is a little bit different. And so it's not always very easy to take something that really works well in another person's life and just try and copy and paste that and put that into your life. So give yourself some space to decide what's going to work for you, and be okay with that. Whether it's something such as journaling, doing yoga, doing mindful eating, or even just taking a quiet moment to breathe. Choose practices that make you feel good, that don't make you feel overwhelmed, things that you don't dread, because who's going to want to do stuff that you dread, I think that when it comes to wellness, really finding things that really genuinely do make you feel good can make all the difference in the world. And it may take some time for it to feel good, to you, if it's something that's different, but really allowing yourself and listening to your intuition as you're incorporating these wellness routines is a really, really big part of the practice. Number 3, create a flexible routine. So I would say, rather than aiming for a perfect schedule, focus on consistency. Start small, like drinking a glass of water the first thing in the morning, or spending 5 minutes stretching before bed. But remember that really, really small actions that you do consistently are what create who you become. Okay, so it doesn't require that you do something extremely drastic, but really taking small steps and beginning to layer those steps day to day make a huge difference. And you will make a lot of progress by the end of the year if you're able to incorporate small changes and begin to layer those changes throughout the course of your year. Number 4, track your progress with self-compassion. So I like to use a journal. I definitely wouldn't say that I'm a huge journaler, but even if I'm just journaling a couple times a month, I have found it to be so helpful to look back on kind of where my mind was at, what I was thinking, what I was working towards, what my perspective was during that season. And it really helps me to get to know myself better. So I would say consider using a journal if you don't already. It's not something that you have to do every single day, but you'll find that over time, even if it's just once a month, you get to know yourself better and you get to see patterns, which is really, really extremely helpful. But also when you're looking back at a journal, it's really nice because you're able to celebrate victories. You're able to see times like maybe when you thought something was extremely impossible or difficult, and you realize in that moment you're maybe doing that thing or you accomplished that thing, and maybe you didn't realize it, that, oh man, I wrote in my journal how hard it was going to be for me to travel to, Italy, and oh my gosh, I did it. And so it just gives you more confidence that the things that maybe seem to be difficult in that moment, that it is possible, that life oftentimes does work out for you as long as you're putting effort and intention and strategy into completing and accomplishing that goal. So celebrate the little victories, like sticking to a new habit for a week or for a month or for a couple of months, just feeling more energized throughout the day. Progress isn't always linear, and that's okay. At times it's up and down. Sometimes you have to give yourself grace and space, and that's okay because it's a journey. It's not about being perfect, but it's about gradually making progress. So give yourself compassion. And number 5, adapt and adjust. Life happens. So things change, priorities change. Some days are going to be harder than others. Priorities sometimes shift when things come up in life. And I think the key that I found is to be flexible and to recognize that you do have choices, that you do have options, that you do have power, right? That you are the captain of your own ship, and that if something isn't working, that you have the authority to change it in a way that it works for you, that you are the captain of your own life, right? And to put yourself in the driver's seat of your life. Don't let life happen to you, but happen to life. I don't know who said that. I'm pretty sure that's a quote. So that's really, really what I would suggest. Adapt, adjust, modify, tweak things. That's really going to help you to be successful, choosing yourself and creating this wellness routine. So I hope that you found that helpful. If so, please go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know where you're at so far this year on kind of working towards some of your wellness goals, where you're at with regard to your strategy for the year. Are you finding some things to be difficult? Are some things easier than you expected? Let me know. Until next time, bye. So if you're wondering who I am, my name is Dr. Nicola Sean. I'm a former overworked nurse who decided to change her life, who decided that she was tired of working exhaustively and decided to create a new life, one that I want to live, right? Rather than the one that has been assigned to me. And I want to help you, dear Black woman, to do the same. So here on this channel, I talk about things related to health, wellness, travel, and nutrition. And I am helping Black women to create the life that you want to live rather than the one that has been assigned to you. So if that's something you're interested in, please go ahead and subscribe, share this video with someone who may benefit from it, and let's get into it.